Hitting rock bottom, modern-day cave dwellers are facing eviction from a picturesque Spanish settlement. The protesters in the city of Granada are dug in and determined to stay after receiving orders to quit their subterranean homes. They claim there may be more behind the eviction than meets the eye. RT's Lucy Kafanoff has the details.
It's views like this one, breathtaking, isn't it, that's made Granada famous for drawing visitors in. But it's the city's plans to force out a group of residents from this very hill that's drawing controversy. Now, it's a bit of an unusual kind of story. We're in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, an area that's pockmarked with countless caves which people have called home for years now. The residents are a colorful mix of characters. We have Spaniards, immigrants, students, people who don't have a place to call home, as well as people who prefer their home to reflect, well, a bit of an unusual kind of lifestyle. Well, several days ago, we had seen a protest of about 250 supporters coming out here saying that's simply not okay. What they want for the city to do is to consult the people to live here, to provide them perhaps with better housing options, and to make sure that the people here don't feel like they're simply getting evicted for some other unknown purpose. Meanwhile, activists believe that it's not actually about the dangers of living here, but perhaps there's profit motivation behind getting the residents out. Of course, the views here, as we mentioned earlier, are spectacular, and there's been some discussion of potentially building a luxury resort or a hotel, something on this property. The residents here say they've formed a sort of community. Now, this is an example of one of the so-called homes. Nothing fancy, really quite small. There's room for a couch, some photographs. Of course, it is very clearly a cave. Most importantly, of course, it's protection from the elements. Now, the residents here don't all have the papers to prove that they actually belong here. Some do say they do, but their days of refuge do seem to be over. That's because the city is trying to evict them from this area. The city believes that it is a danger actually to the people living here. That's because this mountain, they say, could collapse and actually hurt the people who reside in the area. But the residents here have a very different take.
We are resisting with all the legal means we have, unlike the authorities, whose actions have been unfair and unlawful throughout the entire process. There hasn't been a single collapse in the caves since they declared we were living in ruins 3 years ago. This only suggests that they've been lying and simply looking for a reason to throw us out.
We really feel completely safe and comfortable sleeping here every night. The only thing we're asking the government for is another independent examination of the place, because during the one they did back in 2010, no one came to see how we live. Nobody actually entered the caves.
Whatever the case, the authorities say they're certain they want to evict residents from at least 8 of the caves. The residents, of course, say they're not going to budge. We here at RT will be covering the developments over the next few days, so do stay with us for that coverage. Reporting from Granada, Spain for RT, I'm Lucy Kafanoff.